Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. In the last episode, we were doing some miscellaneous things. We got our wall of spawners up and running, and what else did we end up doing? I don't actually remember. We were messing around with some stuff, and yeah, we were doing something special. Right, we were starting the reactor. Duh. I have a bunch of the reactor stuff in my inventory. I've been working on this. So yeah, we've got a bunch of the reactor stuff up and going. Still waiting on a couple of things, working on a ton, and I mean an actual, ton of resources that we need for the control rods, as well as, that's for something else, the fuel rods, and just waiting around for that. It's going to take a while because, unfortunately, we need a lot more steel. And yeah, our trees aren't doing their thing anymore. Grab some of this. There we go. There's a tree. And if we put bone meal in there, that should help at least a little bit. So we'll check back up on that later. But one thing, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have been super lazy. I have not killed the dragon yet. I have not gone and farmed the dragon or anything like that because I just really haven't felt like it. It's something that's going to be pretty tedious on my part, and I don't really want to do it. Getting the bees to resurrect the dragon is really nice, and that's going to make it easy to kind of cycle through, but I still have to kill the dragon. Maybe making a better crossbow would be a good thing. I might consider that, but I think most of the overpowered stuff is disabled, but whatever. Anyways, so today we're not going to work on that stuff or anything like that right away. We're going to work... Right, I was doing that. I forgot the other thing we were doing was automating the draconic stuff. We'll worry about that later. That's not too much of an issue. But today what I want to start working on is blood magic. So I did a little bit of research into kind of what we're going to need to do in order to get the Convocation of the Damned, aka Demon Summoning. And yeah, we're going to need a lot of stuff. So one thing that we need still, that is the wrong set of notes. I have notes for everything, I swear. So apologies for the audio. So we need, for one, a blood altar. We'll get another one of those. That's not too bad. We need a demon. We have demon. We're going to need all 8 bell jars filled. We have that, plus the stuff to get those set up how we need to. We're going to need a master ritual stone plus 128 ritual stones. So we're going to need a lot of these, but that's not that bad. Reinforced slates is about it. So the big thing that we need is, well, we need blood. We need a lot of blood. We're also going to need an awakened activation crystal. That might be a little bit harder to get. But we're going to need a lot of blood. So currently, we have about 100,000. No, we have almost 1 million. We need 15 million. Let's take off the draconic armor because that messes up the displays and stuff. And if we take a look at this, this holds, I believe, it holds 10 million LP. We need 15 million. So in order to get that, we're going to need some of these runes of the orb. So that's not too bad. Imbued slates is what we're going to need. We're going to need 25 of these in total. So let's get 24 of these. Get the filter. And switch this stuff out. And then go ahead and get some more villagers taken care of. But yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of a pain. to get going, but we're going to work on that, and it shouldn't be too bad. So one of the things that we're going to need to do, and this is something that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, is we need to upgrade a lot of the stuff. So we have a bunch of augmented capacity runes. Those are fine for right now. We're going to need a lot of speed and a lot of sacrifice runes. Now, in order to make sacrifice runes, we need daggers of sacrifice, as well as imbued slates, of course. And speed runes are sugar and only reinforced slates, so those might be a little bit better. But let's get the blood, the runes of the blood. Wow, runes of the orb. There we go. I can speak. And then we can go from there. So this stuff only takes, what, another 7,000 LP. So we'll check that every once in a while. It can do basically 7 each time. But we're also going to need this awakened activation crystal. So this requires another star and some other stuff. Alright, nothing too nasty there. Let's go ahead and get another star. We can request one of those pretty... Okay. Alright, so I thought we could request one pretty easily, but that might not be the case. So let's just dump this stuff in here. And this is going again, so we'll start getting more steel. Do we have any... What do we need for this? It's just making a ton of iron plates. Okay. That's fine. We should have everything else taken care of there. So that is good. Now, legitimate question. How full is this? 4,000 millibuckets. That's not too bad. We definitely need more, but... Alright, we have imbued slates, so let's start working towards getting the rest of the stuff that we're going to need for the Rune of the Orb. We're going to need more blood runes. These are a bit of a pain to make, but not that bad. It's mostly the slates. The blank slates require arcane stone blocks, which is why I'm currently making a ton of living rock. So that should be almost done, shouldn't it? And honestly, we could probably just cancel it if it is close. Yeah, let's just cancel that because everything's in there. So we can go ahead and make the nether star, get the awakened crystal. We're also going to need incendium, aether, and aqua salis. So water bottles, ink sacs. Most of that stuff should be pretty straightforward. So we're going to go with the nether star just because it's automatic. We don't have to summon and kill a demon. It's easier this way. It kind of considers the wither basically a demon, so it's kind of nice. Anyways, we're going to need this guy. We are going to need our weak activation crystal, which is just right over here. Let's kill a bunch of villagers. Fill this back up. Cool. And get away from that because it's so loud. So we need incendium. Simple catalyst. We're going to need probably 3 of these. So it's 2 redstone. And then 1 of each of these. And that should make the simple catalyst. So incendium is going to require 2 blaze powder, netherrack, and lava. 2 blaze powder. Netherrack. Can we make 1? Maybe. There we go. I was going to say, if we can, it shouldn't take that long. And then bucket for lava. And honestly, making this awakened activation crystal should not be too difficult. Oh, cool. That's like full now. We must be full up on that one stuff. The oh, what am I trying to say? Obsidian. There we go. Alright, so that's the Incendium. Aether is 2 feathers, gas tier, and one of these guys. So let's grab that, 2 feathers. And then a gas tier. Which I still need to set up all the farms for that, but we need more the draconium stuff, which we'll get more draconium. The draconium infused obsidian is kind of the big thing there. Let's grab our crystal. And where are we at? 14. Yeah, speed upgrades would be great for that. And then the last one is ink sac and 3 water bottles. We have neither of those in there. Alright, so ink sac. I searched water puddles earlier. We just want bottles. 1, 2, 3. Because we could take these guys. Just do that. And then ink sac. And how much does this cost? It costs 10,000 LP, but we have that, so it's not that big of a deal. We'll get this taken care of. And then we can move on to the next step. The next step is actually not that bad. But there is the Awaken activation. Does it have to be bound to me? Yes. Alright. Of course it does. It needs to know like who it's using stuff off of. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is let's go ahead and start prepping the runes of the orb. So we're going to need prismarine. We're going to go with just normal prismarine, but we need prismarine shards, which we get from mana infusion with quartz. Now we're going to need 25 of these. So we're going to need 100 prismarine shards. So let's just make sure we don't have any prismarine already. And we're going to want like 2 stacks of this. So let's turn this off for right now. And throw those in there. That was actually really cheap. Cool. So with that taken care of, we should be able to make, it doesn't matter what kind of prismarine, so we're just going to use the cobblestone one. And yeah, we'll just make half a stack of those. Because why not? And then we only need 25. So there we go. And do we have any more runes? We have 2. So I want to see. We're going to use all of the early tier ones. If we put these here. 2 runes and that. And then do something like this. Okay. The orbs do not get used whatsoever. Alright, so now we just need a bunch of blood runes. And in order to get that, we're going to need the waystones, air shards, and then the basic slates with a bunch of stones. So how much stone do we have? Let's get like 4 stacks of it. Because we're going to want a lot of this stuff. And we're going to need shards of some sort. What's the easiest one to make? This requires stone. This is ice, I do believe. How much ice do we have? We have a good bit. We can make more. So let's get like, I don't know, 100 water shards and let that work. And then we can cut these guys up and make sure we have plenty of blood. So I will upgrade the rest of the stuff later. Speed runes are pretty easy. I'm really glad I didn't actually use the orbs. We can always make more orbs. That's not an issue. But it is a little bit of a concern. I don't want to use stuff that I don't have to. You know, that's usually not a good idea. Alright, so water. We have like 36 of them for now. I guess let's put this here. We're going to do something like that. Do we have a stack of waystones? We do. So we just need as many of these guys now as we can. And then we can make a bunch of blood runes, which we can then use to make more stuff. Alright, so you kind of get the idea. We're going to let this finish. And then we're going to replace some stuff. We're also going to make a couple of speed runes, I think. Might not be able to. At least not right away. And kind of go from there. So, we're also going to need ritual stones. Like, there's a lot of things. Now, in order to get all these runes, we need arcane stone bricks, which aren't bad to get other than the fact that they require shards, as well as, so they require, where is it? Shards, living rock, and stone. Any type of the vanilla shards, including the sparkly one, balance shard. So it's not awful, but it is definitely kind of annoying. And making the sacrifice runes, I've talked about this before, but it requires daggers of sacrifice, and that's Arthana's. These are just a pain to make. They require mana pearls and living wood and just gold. They're not like awful, but they're a pain. So hopefully we can get away with not making too many of those, just because we can always essentially recycle. So for example, we're going to be taking a bunch of these runes out and putting in the rune of the orbs, and that'll kind of make things a little bit nicer. So we have 14 of these guys. So let's go ahead and start placing some of this stuff down. And you guys can kind of get an idea of what we're going to be doing. Now, here is the thing. We're going to turn this reactor off. Eject waste. And go ahead and eject fuel. How much is in there? There's still fuel in there. Hold up. Eject fuel. Eject fuel. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna just break this. There's a ton of plutonium. Before we do anything else, I guess we'll come over here. And you know what, we'll probably use barrels. So let's switch these guys out for barrels, because that makes more sense. By the way, I fixed the glitch that we had last episode. The way I did it was just broke the reservoir. I was worried during the episode that that would cause issues. It didn't. So we have barrels. We certainly do. Alright, so we're going to have main controller there. It'll be input output type stuff. And we might have another barrel for plutonium if we choose to use that, but I don't know if we will yet. Anyways, this is pretty easy to make in terms of like how this is all going to be laid out. just something like this, checkerboard pattern style thing. But what we can go ahead and start doing, other than breaking more stuff than we can actually take care of, let's get another barrel. Let's go ahead and go for broke. We'll get another barrel for the plutonium. We can always move the cyanide reprocessor down over here, so we can have the plutonium if we so choose. Let's lock all of these guys. Alright, cool. So the next thing we need to do is go ahead and demolish this guy, which is going to give us some stuff. And we can use said stuff to make more things with the bigger reactor that we're making. And hopefully not run into any issues of like hopefully we have the right number of things, but we might not. Anyways, this is going to be outlet, that's inlet. Power goes down here. We have controller. We have another yellorium fuel rod, which go right there. So the fun part of this is going to be filling all of these spots with the resonant ender. But luckily, as you can see, it is all kind of taken care of. I don't want to fill those in yet. I will get to those once we have more of these guys taken care of. So for now, like, doing something like this is going to be the best way, but it's going to be a process. Make sure nothing can spawn there. Okay. It's definitely going to be a process, and a lot of it is just waiting around for supplies to come in and whatnot. That's a lot of what this mod pack seems to be. Anyways, let's put some more bone meal there. How are you guys doing? Almost done. A couple more stacks of steel. Alright, so is this done yet? Can we start ripping things up? We certainly can. Now, I think the other thing to look at is, do we have any more arcane stone? Right, we were trying to make a bunch, but we ran out of living rock, so there is 3 more stacks. That should be enough. So we're going to throw that stuff in there. I'm going to take that out and put the blank slate filter in. And we'll make all of the stuff that we can. So let's go ahead and get some more blood. But while it's doing that, let's go ahead and get the runes of... let's see. Let's get as many of these guys as we can. We're going to need 25. And we don't need this tier for what we're doing, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go ahead and get all the blood, the runes of blood that we can. And there's 13 more, so we only need 3 more. 13, by the way, is exactly enough to go across, so that's good to know. But yeah, so we're almost there already with the runes of the orb. Uh-oh, okay. A little bit of a hiccup there. Don't know what caused that, but... Let's see, there's 3 more. I think we're almost there, actually. If we want 3 more, we're gonna need 5 more. So let's get more blood. And this will be done here in a second. Cool. So, there we go. Last set of runes that we're going to need. And there's all that. Awesome. So these guys come down here. And we have all of the runes of the orb that we're ever going to need. So the next thing we need to do is make some speed. More speed is going to be better. So can we make at least a couple of these? Alright, let's turn that off for a second. Let's also turn that off for a second. And let's just switch those out for a second. Cool. So I'm going to let that set, and we're going to go ahead and grab some speed runes. So we need sugar, 2 blood runes, and a thaumium ingot. So we're going to need thaumium. We have 12. For right now, let's see, let's get 8 of these guys. So we need sugar times like 16. And we're going to need a bunch of these slates. We're going to need more of these anyway, so that's fine. But, and we'll need more of these. So just a fairly sizable process. It's going to take some time. I will tell you guys what. Let's take a really quick break here. I am going to get a bunch of these runes that I want, and then see if we can't finish the reactor today. So I will be right back once more stuff is done. So be right back. Alright, bit of a progress report. So, I've been working on all this stuff, and we now have speed runes. We have 8 whole speed runes. I know. What to expect? This isn't that many. So if we throw that in there, you can kind of see how fast this guy goes. It's not very fast at all. And, let's actually, music. Let's see, friendly creatures. Let's turn you way down. There we go. That's much better. So as you can see, it's pretty slow. But what we're going to do is we're going to add some of these speed runes. Now, before we can do too much, we need to take all that stuff out because we're going to have to break these guys. That's why the blood is so low. I didn't want to run the risk of, like, anything. If there's too much blood in there and we don't have the capacity for it, what happens type of stuff. So we'll put some speed upgrades there. We'll probably end up making more speed upgrades, but if we put the lever back and the arcane stone blocks, you'll see that it is decently faster. So that's kind of the plan with that. So more speed runes, obviously more better. It should be faster. I'll probably make another half a stack or so of those. But I also want to make like half a stack of the runes of sacrifice, and that's going to be a lot of stuff. And then once we have like the max tier altar, we can just have a ton of really good runes. But I don't know that, like, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to need a max tier altar for. Let's see. Can I see all the recipes? Yeah, so tier 5, we already got that. We'll need it for the transcendent blood orb, which I don't know if we actually need that for anything in particular. Then we can get the Eldritch blood orb, which again, I don't know that we need that for anything in particular. The top tier stuff in blood magic isn't really used all that often. I don't think it's used for this mod pack either, so is what it is. Let's go ahead and kill a bunch of these guys. Get this filled back up with blood, and just let that run for a little bit. So before we do anything else, this is just a little bit of a progress update, not much of anything to report. I just wanted to show you the speed upgrades off. I want to open a bunch of uncommon treasure. I've got 5 stacks here, so we're just gonna open all this stuff up. and just see what we get. See if we get anything good. We'll probably get a bunch of ender pearls. We might get some diamonds. You know, 5 stacks, right? We're gonna see how many diamonds we get from this, because that might actually be something to keep in mind. So a lot of this stuff we don't really care about. We have 18 diamonds. Okay. Get the gold coins out of there soon enough. Let's just get all this stuff in there. Nothing that I'm seeing that's too good. But I wonder if we can automate that. Right, let's grab all those. Wow, a lot of gold. Is that going to be worthwhile to us? I don't know. So let's get all that, and we can pull it all out again and get plenty of gold. So that might be something to kind of keep in mind. We also have common treasures, but we have a lot of these, and if we could like automate opening them, let's see, would an autonomous, let's see, what would be something that could open them? It's just a right click. So I guess an autonomous activator would probably be the best way. If I can spell treasure. So do we have one lying around that I can test this with? I actually don't know. So that's got a hammer. This is, well, I'll be. So we could do that pretty easily, just with an autonomous activator, and then from there, like, we could just have plenty of treasure. Have a vacuum hopper or something that picks it all up, and then maybe run it through like a couple of things, because we're gonna get like iron axes. We're gonna get soulbound smite, plus normal ones. I don't know that those are worth much. We're gonna get leather armor. We're gonna get gold armor. A lot of different things I don't really care too much about. But it is something that we could potentially do. So how many more fuel rods we got? We got 5 more. Been working on trying to get this taken care of, so we can have the reactor up and running, and it's just a lot of work. So as you can see, just kind of doing this as methodically as I can as we get more iron plates, because that is the slow thing that we're waiting on. Just waiting on making iron plates, and then we'll get all this stuff taken care of. So you know what, I think let's see a couple things. So I've got a bunch of the runes here, 7 more. Let's switch these guys out for a second, and go ahead and get the rest of the runes, the normal ones. So we're gonna have what, about half a stack. Okay, that's not too bad. So if we want to make, we're gonna need 2 stacks of ritual stones. We have 20. That is, so okay, how to do the math. We're gonna need a stack plus a little bit less, because we have 20. We need that is what, 5 recipes worth. We need 16, so we need 11 recipes. So 44 plus a stack should be what we need. So we'll get this stuff taken care of. We can put this like so. And 27, that sounds about right. So we're gonna need a lot of the reinforced, oops, a lot of the reinforced stuff, slates, that's what they're called. It's just gonna be a matter of getting them. But as you can see, a little bit of speed upgrades was definitely the play. Makes it a little bit quicker, and that just makes it easier for me, just because it doesn't take forever. But like I said, I really want to try to finish this reactor today and potentially get to the point where we can automate, not automate, but we can do the demon summoning stuff, so we can kind of finish up the magic stuff for at least the time being. So fuel rods, we have 2. We're waiting on, yeah, a lot of iron. So I might help this along, but I think it is time for another little bit of a jump cut. So I'm going to continue working on stuff. I might go ahead and make a bunch of sacrifice runes just while I'm waiting. And then, yeah, I'll come back once we have all of the fuel rods and potentially all of the stuff for the ritual. So, yeah, be right back. And once again, a good bit later, but progress has really been made this time. So let's do blood magic stuff first. Apology, there's a bunch of villagers. I kind of let them run for a little bit too long. Been making a bunch of, I turned them back up because it was really weird when they were like super quiet. But I've been making a bunch of various filters, bunch of various slates. Use different filters to get different things, and we're going to turn this off for the we'll let it go for a little bit longer. I like having a little bit of, I like having the larger supply of the lower tier ones, because in the event that we want to upgrade anything, it's not that hard. We can do it pretty easily. So big thing on the list is ritual stones. Let's go ahead and make the 2 stacks of ritual stones that we need, and that is almost everything we need. So the only thing left, other than all of the blood that we need for the convocation of the dam, is another blood altar, which I'll make off camera. We've made those before, obviously, but it wasn't too terrible. It does require an attuned stone, which is a little bit annoying, but everything else is pretty straightforward. We'll get all this stuff taken care of, and like I said, I'll do that off camera just because it's going to be easier and quicker. But the next thing that we're going to need to do, and this is going to be a lot of, well, pain, is if I want to make the runes of sacrifice, we're going to need the daggers of sacrifice. And in order to get those, we need Arthanas, which is this recipe right here. So we're going to make 16 of these guys. That's going to take a little bit of time, but hopefully I can get those taken care of. I'll get the imbued slates and all that. But before we do anything else, I want to make a filter, another filter, just specifically for the daggers of sacrifice. And that is all we need for that. So basically what I can do is, once I'm done making all of these runes, put all of the Arthanas in here, let them run through like I have been with all of this stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote with that. So I can get the runes of sacrifice. I'm going to make a bunch of those, more than anything else, but also probably make a few more speed, and just kind of get this filled up best I can, just so we can upgrade the altar to go a little bit better than what it is currently. So I'll work on that off camera and get the blood that we're going to need. We're going to need a lot of blood. That's not what I meant to click. I wanted to look at this. So we currently have a little bit less than 1 million blood. We're going to need a lot. So lots of runes of sacrifice are probably going to be the best way. And some speed upgrades so that we can transfer stuff a little bit faster, and kind of get the idea. Anyways, so if you can't tell from my inventory, I have an empty drum, and that means that we are actually complete. Oops, I wanted those. we are actually complete on the reactor. So this is what it looks like. Actually looks really cool. I love the way this stuff looks. And now all I need to do is place all of these, all 61 of these. I think that's the number that we need. And then hopefully don't delete any of the what is this? It's called a Resident Ender, isn't it? I never want to think that it is, just because I can make it so easily, but it is Resident Ender. But yeah, we don't want to get rid of any of that. Not that it's a big deal if we do. More annoying than anything, but perfect. So now we get to do the fun part of filling in all the gaps. And once again, not deleting anything if we can help it. And just building the rest of this reactor. So this reactor is primarily going to be for draconium, charging draconium, and I've considered putting the excess power over to the UU matter production, but I don't know that we need to. I think it would be probably better just to make solar panels and use solar panels for that. Makes a little bit more sense in my eyes. So we're gonna get rid of we're probably gonna get rid of this connection, but this guy is definitely gonna be the main power source for a lot of stuff going forwards when it comes to the charged draconium, just because that requires so much power. And eventually we're going to want to make some other things, probably, with Draconic Evolution. And Draconic Evolution is awful when it comes to power. So, boom. That is cool. So, what we're going to want to do now is get a bunch of Yellorium, as well as item ducts. And let's try a resonant servo and see how well that works. So Yellorium, we have a lot of it, and we can dump that off. Cool. So plenty of Yellorium, so we should be able to get plenty of power, and we can see how good this is. So oops, let's put that there. This guy will get a resonant just so we can get the most stuff in there. If we don't get the waste out like super duper quickly, that's not that big of a deal. But this is full. It has what, 244 ingots, so this is going to be pretty powerful, and it is peaking at right around 30,000 RF per tick. So not too bad. That is actually really good. So I think what we'll want to do we have any more resonant flux ducts? Don't actually know. If we do, that's wonderful. We have like 2. Alright, so you guys have seen me make these before. These are not awful, but I need to make them. I need to make more of them. So that is kind of the plan. So yeah, that'll be what I do between episodes. We're gonna power this guy with the reactor and go from there. So I'm getting such bad frame rate, and it's gotta be these villagers. So let's kill a bunch of them. Actually stopped producing the slates currently. Alright, let's switch this. And we've only 45 more, so that's good enough. So yeah, I think that is as good as any of a place to end the episode off for today. So next time, the goal is going to be, we need, let's get 100 of those. Why not? We need to do the Convocation of the Damned and start getting demons summoned into the world so we can get life and soul shards and then have some fun with that. So that'll be the plan for next time. We're going to go off somewhere decently far away because you don't want to be close to your base. Doing this, it can be bad. And hopefully, I don't know if we'll be able to or not, but we do have two options with a soul vial. I'll probably make another one of those. Let's make like 20 of that. And also the safari nets, which are not that awful to make. We're going to try to capture some of these guys and see if we can. If we can, that is awesome. We're going to farm them easier. But if we can't, the soul shard things and life shards, I don't even know what they're called. What are they? Life shards. Okay, I was saying that right. You cannot make more of those. How about the soul? Cannot make more of those. Alright, well that's a pain, but we're going to need a lot of them. Null Catalyst, Gaia Spirit, Bloodstone Bricks, just to get the crystal clusters. And we're going to need a handful of these because that's how we can duplicate the Primordial Pearl with a ton of LP. That's 1 million. And we're going to also need a few of those as well. So lots of work to do still, but blood magic should be a little bit easier now that we have better runes and all that kind of stuff. And as I get the sacrifice runes, this will be even better. And we'll just kind of continue on from there. So, that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Still got to do other things. Still got to go kill the dragon and all that fun stuff. But haven't felt like it. So, I haven't. But, like I said, next time, more blood magic. And we'll go from there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!